What do you do when the person you love most builds a wall of lies so high you can't see the truth anymore? I thought I knew Mia, the woman who'd been my anchor for 3 years. Her laughter was my compass, her touch my safe harbor. But last spring, something shifted, and the map of our love started to blur. It began with a name, Ethan. She mentioned him casually one evening, her phone buzzing as we ate takeout on our couch. "Just my cousin," she said, brushing it off with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. I nodded, trusting her, because why wouldn't I? Mia was my everything, me confidant, my partner, my future. Ethan was just a name, a distant relative she texted now and then. Or so I thought. The texts became calls. Late night once. She'd slip into the bedroom, her voice low, muffled through the door. "Family stuff," she'd say when I asked, her tone light, but her eyes darting away. I wanted to believe her, but doubt is a quiet seed, it grows in the dark. By summer, Ethan wasn't just a name anymore. He was a shadow in our home, lingering in her quick glances at her phone, in the way she'd changed the subject when I pressed. Then came the trip. "I'm visiting Ethan in Seattle," she announced one morning, packing a bag with a haste that felt rehearsed. "He's going through a rough patch, needs family." I offered to go with her, but she waved me off. "It's just a weekend, Jake. Don't worry." Her kiss felt like an apology, but I let her go, clinging to the trust we'd built. She was my Mia, after all. The weekend stretched into a week. Her texts were sparse, her calls brief. "Ethan's a mess," she'd say, her voice strained. I pictured her comforting a grieving cousin, maybe helping with a breakup or a job loss. I wanted to be the good guy, the supportive boyfriend. But the silence between her words gnawed at me, and by the time she came back, I was a tangle of hope and dread. She walked through our door, her face pale, her eyes avoiding mine. "Jake, we need to talk," she said, and my heart sank like a stone in deep water. She sat me down, her hands twisting in her lap, and the story spilled out not in a rush, but in slow, jagged pieces, each one cutting deeper than the last. Ethan wasn't her cousin. He was her ex, the one she'd loved before me, the one she'd never quite let go. They'd reconnected online, and what started as nostalgia turned into something else, something that pulled her across the country to him. She swore it wasn't physical, that she'd only gone to figure things out, but the truth was in her eyes. She'd fallen for him again. And there was more. She was pregnant. Not with my child, but his. The room spun. I wanted to scream, to beg, to rewind time to when Ethan was just a name. "Why didn't you tell me?" I choked out. She cried, said she didn't want to hurt me, that she thought she could bury her feelings and come back to me whole. But she wasn't whole anymore, and neither was I. The days that followed were a haze. I moved out, crashing on a friend's couch, replaying every moment of our 3 years together, searching for the cracks I'd missed. I hated her, then loved her, then hated myself for still loving her. I'd built my world around Mia, and now it was rubble. But in the wreckage, I started to see something else, not just pain, but a chance to rebuild. I began running again, something I hadn't done since college. Each step was a way to outrun the hurt, to reclaim a piece of myself. I called my sister, who I hadn't spoken to in months, and we talked for hours, mending old rifts. I started volunteering at a community center, teaching kids to code, finding purpose in their wide-eyed curiosity. Slowly, the world felt bigger than my heartbreak. Mia sent me a letter a month later. No excuses, just an apology, raw and unfiltered. She was moving to Seattle, raising the baby with Ethan. She hoped I'd find happiness, the kind she couldn't give me. I didn't reply, but I kept the letter, a reminder that love can break you, but it can also teach you. I'm not whole yet. Maybe I never will be, not in the way I was before. But I'm learning that broken things can still grow, like flowers through cracked pavement. I don't know what's next, maybe a new city, a new love, or just a quieter version of me. But I know I'm more than the lies that broke me. I'm the man who's still standing, still hoping, still human.